Have you ever felt a quiet voice within you, a presence that seems to know more than you do, patiently waiting for you to listen? Something deep inside has been trying to reach you all this time, guiding you, comforting you, and quietly showing the way to peace, clarity, and joy. Yet, in the noise of life, in the rush of thoughts and responsibilities, we often overlook it. Today, we are going to pause, to step away from the distractions, and to open ourselves fully to this inner voice. What I am about to share is not just advice. It is an invitation to reconnect with the part of you that has been waiting patiently, longing to be heard, longing to heal, and longing to transform your life from within. If you allow yourself to truly listen, this moment could mark the beginning of a journey where every fear softens, every worry dissolves, and every step you take is guided by the wisdom of your own soul. Stay with me, because what you hear today has the power to awaken something deep inside, something you have always known but have perhaps forgotten. Inner silence and listening is about the profound importance of quieting the mind in order to truly connect with the soul. Most people live in a constant state of noise, external noise from the world around them, and internal noise from their own thoughts, anxieties, and preoccupations. The soul, unlike the mind, does not shout or demand attention. It communicates softly, gently, and subtly. To hear it, one must cultivate stillness, a state where the chatter of the mind is set aside. This does not mean suppressing thoughts or avoiding life. It means observing them without becoming entangled, creating a space where deeper awareness can emerge. When the mind is silent, the subtle sensations of intuition, insight, and inner guidance begin to appear, often as small nudges, feelings, or sudden clarity. Many individuals mistake the loud demands of the ego for wisdom, chasing ambitions, approvals, and desires without ever stopping to listen to their inner self. But the soul operates differently. It speaks in a language of presence, of feeling, and of knowing that transcends words. Cultivating inner silence is not an escape from life, it is a return to the most intimate and authentic part of existence. It is through this silence that one learns patience, as the soul rarely responds immediately or in ways the mind expects. The practice of listening to the soul requires dedication, consistency, and a willingness to sit with oneself without distraction, without judgment, and without expectation. It is a form of inner discipline, but unlike rigid rules, it is tender and nurturing, allowing a gentle awakening to occur. In this quiet space, the soul's voice becomes distinguishable from the constant noise of fear, doubt, and conditioning, providing guidance that leads to healing, clarity, and a sense of completeness that cannot be found anywhere outside of oneself. Authentic self-connection emphasizes the necessity of recognizing and embracing one's true inner nature in order to live a meaningful life. Most people spend their lives trying to fit into patterns imposed by society, family, or culture, constantly shaping themselves to meet expectations that are not truly their own. In this process, the voice of the soul is often ignored, drowned out by the ceaseless activity of the mind and the pressures of the external world. Authentic self-connection begins with turning inward and observing oneself honestly, without the filters of judgment, comparison, or fear. It requires courage to face the truths about who we are, including our desires, weaknesses, fears, and potential, without hiding behind masks or pretending to be someone we are not. When this connection is nurtured, one develops a deep sense of clarity about personal values, passions, and purpose, which cannot be discovered through external approval or achievement. The soul communicates through feelings, intuitions, and subtle inner guidance. And these signals become accessible only when we prioritize self-connection over conformity. Many forms of anxiety, dissatisfaction, and restlessness arise because individuals live disconnected from their authentic selves, seeking fulfillment in places that can never satisfy the inner being. By acknowledging and honoring one's inner truth, a person begins to experience alignment between thoughts, actions, and deeper purpose. This connection fosters self-respect, self-love, and a grounded presence, allowing life to flow more harmoniously and decisions to arise naturally from inner wisdom rather than external pressure. It is in this state of authentic self-connection that the soul can guide healing, inspire creativity, and awaken a sense of joy and freedom that is not contingent upon circumstances, achievements, or the opinions of others. Letting go of external expectations revolves around the freedom that arises when one stops living according to the judgments, demands, and approvals of others. From a very young age, people are conditioned to measure their worth by how well they conform to societal norms, family expectations, or peer pressures. This constant need to please and perform creates a disconnection from the inner self, as the soul is often overlooked in favor of external validation. When individuals become aware of this, they begin to see how much of their energy is spent chasing ideals that are not truly their own, and how this chase produces stress, dissatisfaction, and a persistent sense of incompleteness. Letting go of external expectations does not mean ignoring responsibilities or becoming selfish. It means releasing the compulsive need for approval and living authentically from within. It requires courage to face the disapproval or misunderstanding that may come from others, but it also brings immense relief and liberation. The soul communicates most clearly when one is free from the pressure to perform or conform, and listening to it becomes possible only when the mind is not preoccupied with others' opinions. This process involves discerning which expectations are helpful and supportive versus those that are imposed and limiting, and then gradually loosening the grip of the latter. As a person begins to release these external pressures, life becomes less about proving oneself and more about expressing the inner truth. Actions start to flow naturally, guided by inner alignment rather than external compulsion. In this space, creativity, intuition, and authentic joy flourish, and relationships shift from dependency and obligation toward genuine connection. The more one practices letting go of external expectations, the more the soul is allowed to breathe, to guide, and to heal, creating a life of freedom, clarity, and profound inner satisfaction. Awareness of the present moment emphasizes the importance of fully inhabiting the now in order to connect deeply with the soul. Most people live their lives caught between memories of the past and projections of the future, constantly reliving old regrets or anxieties about what is yet to come. In doing so, they miss the subtle, profound experiences that exist only in the present, and the soul's guidance remains obscured by the noise of time-bound thinking. Awareness of the present moment is not merely a practice of observation, it is a conscious participation in life as it unfolds, an intimate communion with reality as it exists before it is labeled or judged by the mind. When attention rests fully in the now, the heart opens, and the soul's voice becomes perceptible through sensations, intuition, and deep knowing. Each breath, each sensation, each thought and feeling becomes a doorway to understanding and transformation experienced consciously. Cultivating present moment awareness requires patience, as the mind naturally resists staying in one place, habitually drifting toward past memories or future anticipations. Yet, with persistent practice, the mind becomes a tool rather than a master, and life begins to reveal its richness and subtlety. In this state, ordinary experiences become extraordinary because they are fully felt, fully lived, and fully appreciated. The present moment also dissolves fear, because fear exists primarily as an anticipation of what might happen. When attention rests in the now, the mind cannot cling to imagined suffering. Moreover, healing occurs naturally when one is present, as the soul communicates without distortion, offering guidance that is timely and precise. Awareness of the present moment nurtures clarity, inner peace, and alignment, allowing actions to arise organically rather than from conditioned patterns or reactive impulses. It is in this conscious living that one experiences a profound connection with life itself and a sense of completeness that is unattainable through distraction or temporal preoccupation. Healing through acceptance explores the transformative power of embracing all aspects of oneself without resistance or judgment. Many people spend their lives fighting against their own emotions, desires, and experiences, labeling some as good and others as bad, creating an internal conflict that blocks the natural flow of energy and awareness. This resistance generates tension, anxiety, and a sense of incompleteness, as the soul cannot communicate fully when the mind is constantly in denial or rejection. Healing begins when one learns to accept what is present within and around them, acknowledging feelings, thoughts, and circumstances as they are, without attempting to suppress or change them immediately. Acceptance does not mean complacency or inaction. Rather, it is a conscious recognition of reality and a willingness to be with it fully. When emotions such as fear, anger, sadness, or longing are allowed to surface without judgment, they lose their intensity over time and their underlying messages become clear. The soul communicates most clearly when the mind is not busy resisting or controlling, and acceptance opens the door for this subtle guidance to emerge. Through acceptance, one cultivates compassion toward oneself, understanding that imperfections and struggles are part of the human experience and not signs of failure. This compassionate stance allows the layers of tension and self-criticism to dissolve, creating space for growth, insight, and inner peace. It also enables individuals to navigate challenges in life with equanimity, responding rather than reacting, and making choices that arise from clarity rather than fear or ego. Healing through acceptance is a continuous practice, requiring patience and awareness, but it gradually leads to a profound sense of liberation, inner balance, and alignment with the deeper wisdom of the soul, allowing life to flow naturally without unnecessary struggle or resistance. Love and compassion within emphasizes the essential role of nurturing a deep sense of care and kindness toward oneself as the foundation for true happiness and connection with life. Many people search for love and validation externally, believing that fulfillment comes from relationships, achievements, or recognition. Yet these sources are fleeting and dependent on conditions beyond one's control. The soul, however, thrives on an unconditional internal love that does not fluctuate with circumstances or opinions. Cultivating this inner compassion requires turning attention inward, observing oneself with patience, tenderness, and understanding, especially in moments of weakness, failure, or fear. When a person embraces their own imperfections without judgment, they create a safe and nurturing inner environment where the soul can flourish and speak its guidance clearly. Love and compassion within act as a mirror, reflecting the inherent value and dignity that exists in every individual, and this recognition naturally extends outward, allowing authentic empathy and kindness toward others. Unlike attachment or dependence, this form of love is free from expectation or possession. It is an expansive, unconditional energy that flows naturally, fostering harmony and balance in one's life. When inner compassion is practiced consistently, it softens the rigidity of the mind, dissolves self-criticism, and reduces inner conflict, enabling a state of openness and receptivity to life's experiences. The soul resonates with this energy, guiding decisions, relationships, and actions in ways that align with deeper truth rather than superficial desires. As this inner love grows, it transforms the perception of the world, revealing beauty, interconnectedness, and meaning in places that may have seemed ordinary or challenging before. Ultimately, love and compassion within is not only the source of personal healing and fulfillment, but also the gateway to living authentically, peacefully, and in harmony with oneself and the greater whole. As we have explored, the journey inward is a journey toward freedom, clarity, and profound connection with the deepest part of ourselves. By embracing inner silence, we create space to hear the whispers of the soul. By connecting authentically with who we truly are, we discover guidance that is unique and transformative. Letting go of external expectations frees us from unnecessary burdens, allowing our lives to unfold with ease and truth. Awareness of the present moment anchors us in reality, revealing the beauty and depth that exist here and now. Healing through acceptance teaches us to embrace all that we are, turning challenges into opportunities for growth. And finally, cultivating love and compassion within opens our hearts, enabling a flow of joy, creativity, and harmony that extends to every aspect of life. May this message inspire you to pause, listen, and honor the voice within you that has been waiting patiently all along. Step forward with courage, embrace your inner wisdom, and allow your soul to guide you toward healing, fulfillment, and authenticity. Good luck on your journey of self-discovery and transformation. Thank you for opening your heart and mind to these words, and may the light of your own soul always shine brightly in every step you take.